쓰다, to write or to use. Well, 쓰다 actually has two passive forms, to be written or to be used. Now, which is it? 쓰이다 or 써지다? If you are very familiar with Korean or you're a native Korean, you might be wondering, well, what about 쓰여지다, right? 쓰다 becomes 쓰여지다 in the passive tense. No, this is actually an error. This is an incorrect passive. It's called double passive verb. And it's incorrect, but you'll still hear it a lot, so just be aware of it. Avoid it though if you can. Now, if you are not really interested in learning about this difference too much, you just kind of want to know, quick answer, which one should I use? Well, just use 쓰이다 99% of the time. If you just want to say to be used, to be written, use 쓰이다. Do not use 써지다. 한글로 쓰인 책. A book that was written. 한글로 쓰인 책을 샀어요. So I bought a book that was written in Korean passive voice. Let's do one more example. 자꾸 신경이 쓰여요. Here, 쓰이다 becomes 쓰여요 in the 요 form to be used. So normally you would say 신경을 쓰다. Literally to use your nerves or to worry about something. So now it becomes 쓰여요. So this is going to be the most common way that you're going to make the passive verb for 쓰다, just 쓰이다. Then when would you ever use 써지다, and where does this even come from? Well, 써지다 also comes from 쓰다. If you conjugate it, 쓰 becomes 써, then you attach the 지다 ending and you get 써지다. So it comes from the same verb. 써지다, however, does not mean to be used. So if you ever want to say something was used, you have to use 쓰이다. 써지다, though, means that something is written. 써지다 is for when you want to specify that something is written with a writing instrument, specifically to specify that something was written with a writing instrument. That would be a pen, or a pencil, or a brush, anything that you would write something with. This means that that thing, whatever it is, a book or whatever, a poem, was written with writing instruments. So when would you want to specify that? Well, there are a lot of cases. For example, what if I pulled out this pen and I was like, 안 써지네요? It's not writing. It's not writing. Now, you wouldn't use 쓰이다 with that. If you were to say 안 쓰여요, well, now you're saying something is not being written, which is a little very indirect way of saying it. You would want to use 써지다 to say that a pen or a pencil or a brush works, that it comes out, that something is coming out of your writing instrument, that something is being written down, not just that it was written, but something is actually physically being written down. And it has one more usage. It's also used to say that something comes out of your mind, as in something gets put to paper. Something comes out of your mind and gets put on paper. So if you put those two meanings together, you can kind of think of 써지다 as meaning to be put down on paper in a sense. Although it doesn't have to be paper, but just in that sense, to be put down somewhere in writing. So let me give you two example sentences. For example, let's take this sentence. 소설을 써보고 싶었지만 I wanted to try to write a 소설, a novel. 글, the words, 글이 잘 안 쓰이더라고 or 써지더라고. If you were to say 잘 안 써지더라고, what you're saying is the words would not go down well. They wouldn't go out of my pen well. I couldn't get them out of my mind well. They just wouldn't be written. There's nothing written. However, if you were to say 잘 안 쓰이더라고, well, one thing, it would sound strange, but literally it would mean something like, well, the words were not written well. Like they were written, but something didn't work right about writing down. There was some problem with writing. So for this one, you definitely want to use 써지다 because it shows that the words were coming out from the pen, coming out of your mind through the pen and down onto the page. And take this sentence, for example. 이 붓, this brush, 이 붓이 잘 써져요 or 쓰여요. Well, you just saw the last example, how I explained how the words are coming through your head and through the instrument and onto the page. So yes, this would also be 써져요 and not 쓰여요. If you were to use 써져요, well, that means that the brush works really well. It's flowing really nicely. It's coming out. It's going down onto the paper well. If you were to say 이 붓이 잘 쓰여요, well, that would mean 잘 쓰이다, to be used well. It's used well, or even maybe used often. Like maybe this brush gets used often, or it's used in a correct way. It's used well. It sounds awkward as well. So if you're using the wrong verb, not only does it kind of have a different meaning, but it just, in general, just sounds awkward. So once more, 쓰이다 is used for saying to be used or to be written in general. That's the passive voice for 쓰다 that you want to use. 써지다, however, means that the words are either coming out of your mind and onto the paper, or they're coming out of the instrument, or maybe a connection of both, like going out of you through an instrument and down onto the paper. So that's the difference, as well as 써지다 meaning that something works, like the pen is writing or something like that. So does this make sense? Thanks for watching. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Maybe I'll make a video about them in the future, and I will see you guys again next time. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.